Family members say Stephen Weatherford put his family first, even to the very end. Good evening and Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Betty Yu. We do begin tonight with a difficult holiday for an Oakland family who came together to celebrate the holidays, but is now in mourning. The fire broke out shortly after 6 o'clock this morning on Oak Knoll Boulevard in East Oakland. No word yet on a cause, but family members tell KTVU's Jesse Gary they are simply in shock that their loved one is gone.
Family members say this burned out shell was the Hallmark house for the holidays. Now it's a painful reminder of the sacrifice of one man and how Christmas will never be the same.
Stephen was truly the best person you could ever be. He loved his family, his friends, everybody so much. He died trying to get them out the house.
Broken by pain, grief, and loss, LaShante Mayo says she nicknamed her boyfriend, Stephen Weatherford, Gummy Bear, because he was such a sweet soul.
He was the kind of guy that any parent would want for their daughter.
Creative and humorous, career-driven, but also a published author on the side, Weatherford returned to his family home to celebrate the holidays with those closest to him.
Because this is a yearly celebration. This is not one, and this is when I say yearly, I mean going on for 40, 50 years. This is not one of those things that it's every other year.
The family spent Christmas Eve cooking, and then around 6:15 Christmas Day, a fast-moving fire started inside the home. The cause and origin still under investigation by the Oakland Fire Department. One neighbor, who doesn't want his face shown, says he heard the commotion and rushed to help.
I heard screams, people screaming saying the house was on fire. So I asked my neighbor, was he out of the home? And he said he was, but then I also heard someone else saying that someone was in there.
Oakland fire officials say Weatherford alerted others, making sure his father, aunt, and brother escaped.
He started yelling to the family, there's a fire, there's a fire. I guess he was just trying to save everybody, make sure everybody was out the house.
But relatives and officials say Weatherford went back to search for the recently purchased engagement ring he planned to give Mayo New Year's Eve and never made it out.
He was going to propose. Yeah.
You knew?
He was going to
I didn't know.
her.
They told me this morning.
Instead of elation, there is anguish. Instead of a new phase in life, it's the marking of the end of a life and of a man many say embodied true love.
I had given up on love until I met him.
In Oakland, I'm Jesse Gary, KTVU Fox 2 News.
A GoFundMe account has been established for the family. You can find it on our website, ktvu.com. The Red Cross says it's helping this family with any immediate needs through the holiday.
Alexis Scott Wyndham rang in the new year on Bourbon Street with 7 other friends from Mobile. She says they were getting ready to grab a bite to eat before calling it a night when chaos erupted in the street.
We heard something go boom, 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 and people were screaming, and I looked to the left, and a truck was coming down like the street, and he was halfway on the sidewalk too. He was just running people over like it was nothing.
She says the truck the terrorist was driving hit her and knocked her to the ground. At first, Alexis thought maybe the truck ran over her foot or she broke her ankle. But as she tried to get up and run away, she saw blood pouring out. Her best friend by her side FaceTime with Alexis' mother, Trifina.
Once she called me and I looked at it, I said, that's a bullet wound. I said, look, get that other sock you got on the other foot, take it off, tie it up tight, so that she won't be bleeding so heavy, so bad.
Alexis says about that time, a good Samaritan and his girlfriend offered to take Alexis and her friend to the hospital.
And that's when I saw all the dead bodies on the ground. I couldn't do nothing but thank God and cry at the same time.
She says her friend, Brandon Whitsett, a Viger graduate, was also injured and is still in the hospital in New Orleans. She believes the truck hit him. She says 2 of her other friends were also hurt, but not seriously.
I'm just thankful. Like, it could have been worse. Like, when people was coming to the hospital, they were looking for their family members, and some of them weren't even there, they were dead. So they was just telling them, like, sorry for your loss, and they would just bust out crying. So I couldn't do nothing but thank God that I only got shot in my foot.
I did not want to be one of the parents that calling me to bury my baby. That's what I didn't want to see. I'm just glad that you called me and said it was her foot. and not her dead. Because it was, you see the video there, people are dead, ran over, died. So I'm just glad that she is still alive. By the grace of God, He protected her.
First of all praises to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Barakadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to honoring the Most High on this day, sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening. My people, let's get some rest, worship, and praise into the Father Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai means Ba'ashem, because this is a commandment throughout all of our dwellings. Even in our down, fallen state, our captivity, okay? It is very important that we do this in these end times, more so than ever. Wow, I like to say that 2025 has coming in with a terrible bang, literally. You know, there were a lot of lives lost in, you know, certain situations, like that particular situation we just watched with that lowlife that went through there running over people and shooting people down there on Bourbon Street at the celebration in New Orleans. Okay, a lot of lives lost there. They got them, but nevertheless, a lot of lives lost. You understand? Then you had the young man that lost his life, you know, with the Christmas Day celebration or what have you, you know. The thing is this, people, we got to understand as the Most High's children, as His people, that we are not to put anything before Him. Anything of these worldly celebrations or what have you, you know. There's been many times before we've come into knowledge, you know, of the Most High's word, before we got to know Him, that we've done these things, and He winked at us, brother, in our ignorance. You see? But when we come into the knowledge of the Most High, these worldly things we have to shed, you know, and put aside. You understand? With the first video, the young man, you know, saved his family from being burned, you know, alive in that house. And from what the news clips say, you know, he went back to retrieve a trinket, a ring, you know, to give to his wife to be on New Year's Day. Very romantic, you know, the idea was, but going back in that house, no, not so much. You see, the Most High looked at that as tempting him. You see what I'm saying? He blessed you to be able to go in that house and get your family, you know, and get them out. You went back for something that can be replaced many times over. You see, and that wasn't a smart thing to do, and it costed the young man his life. I would like to say condolences to that family for their loss. He seemed like he was a very nice looking man. I mean, nice, you know, person. He seemed nice looking. To the point to where he was a nice guy and he was caring and loving. You know, but none of that stuff matters now. Because he looked back. So what I want us to do is start over here in Genesis over here. About not looking back. You see, of course, some of you might be familiar with Genesis 19 verse 26 here. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. This is talking about when the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And he sent 2 angels there to do it. Okay? Those two angels went to Lot's house, basically, and warned them that they were going to have to leave. If they didn't, they were going to be destroyed with that city, Sodom and Gomorrah, basically, And they took heed, Lot, took heed, basically. I'm paraphrasing this, but they took heed to what those two angels said, and they left. But as the angels begin to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot's wife looked back, and it costed her her life. You see, she became a pillar of salt. Okay? Let this be an example. If the Most High bless you with the means of escape and anything that is something dreadful to you, don't look back. You see, the Most High blessed that young man to get his family out of there, whereby everything was okay after the fact, as far as life go, even his life. But he looked back over a ring, a material thing, and there it is. Okay? Now we're going to go over in Matthew chapter 4, verse 7. And it reads, Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Okay? See, he tempted the Most High when he did that. You see, because in a sense, when he went back for that ring, it's like idolatry. You risk your life over idolatry. At that point, the Most High did not show him favor. You see, now in this particular scripture right here, it basically goes into how the devil himself tempted the Hamashiach, saying, if you be of, the Most High, turn these stones into bread and all that. And the Hamashiach told him, this right here, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Don't tempt him. Okay? He could have did all of that if he wanted to, but he had nothing to prove to Satan. You see, at this point, he was trying to get the Hamashiach to basically betray the Most High and bow down and worship him, promising him all of these worldly things. I'll give to you if you bow down to worship me. Okay? Well, idolatry and celebrating these satanic men's tradition, okay, is like portraying the Most High. Okay? Look, we all are so-called grown people, and we do whatever it is we want to do. But the Most High send people to tell us things, and it's up to you to make that choice, whether you say yay or nay. I'm going to do what I want to do, be free will, or I'm not. I'm going to listen to the Most High. But the thing is this, on that great day of your judgment, you are the one that's going to have to stand before him and say, Lord, I did the best I can. You're going to have to answer to him when he asks certain questions. And that's a frightening thing right there. Imagine going into man's court a lot of times. When you go into man's court, you understand, for something, you'd be a bit nervous. Imagine standing before the Most High himself. You see? So that's up to you. The choice is yours. Nobody's trying to, make you do anything. But if I were you, I would not celebrate these satanic traditions and put them before the Most High. Because if you do, well, you know how the story goes. Anything's liable to happen to you, and then on top of that, you're going to have to stand before the Most High. Why did you not listen when my servant come to you and told you not to do these things? Imagine that. Enough said on that particular scripture right here. Let's go to Luke chapter 12, verse 15. This is the Hamashiach, and he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consists not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to bestow my fruits? Question. And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But see, the thing is with this, the Most High had other plans for this man. Verse 20. But Yahweh said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then who shall those things be which thou hast provided? Question. Verse 21. So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Yahweh. Those are the treasures you want to lay up for yourself, is the riches for the Most High, okay, in the afterlife, in heaven, okay. Now, if you remember in that video with when the young man, passed away after going in trying to retrieve that ring, the young lady's grandmother said that we're going to get that ring, we're going to find that ring for you. You see what I'm saying? Well, that's where that ring's going to go. And somewhere down the line, she's going to find some other guy that's going to give her a ring. You see? So see, this man basically perished for earthly treasures for nothing, when the Most High had provided a way for him to save his family and himself. This is a lesson to be learned, people, right here. Let's continue here to Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. And it reads, keep this in mind. Keep this in mind, people. This is what we got to always remember. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. You heard what he said? Do you know when you do contrary to what this word is telling you right here, you hate the Most High. Especially when you know, and he's telling you right here in the word, through whoever he's using to tell you. When you refuse to listen and hearken and obey to his word, you hate him. When you become self-willed and say, I'm living my life like I want to and do what I want to do. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what God say. This is my life. Okay, so you hate the Most High. Understand that. That's all this boils down to. It's a lot of people out here living like this right here. And there's a lot of people that's paying the price for doing so too. It's really not worth it, but like I said, we are grown people. We make decisions and choices for ourselves, right? That's just what it is. Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, which is slavery. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, that is, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Goes on to say here, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Okay, now you see what I mean? When you refuse to keep his commandments, most I say, well, you hate me. That's what that is. But when you try to keep his commandments and you keep his commandments, he's saying, well, those of them that love me, he shows mercy to. This is what you want. You want his mercy. You want his favor. You want his deliverance in your time of need. Okay? Whatever your time of need is in that hour in your life, you need help. Verse 7, thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord, of the Lord thy God in vain. The Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. See, we can celebrate the Sabbath day and all the things that the Most High said we're to celebrate, but just not man's traditions. These holidays, these festivals. Look what happened down there at that place. You see the young lady in that second video there? At the beginning of it, she was full of pride. You seen her posing, her and her friend posing in the video, the camera. She's taking of herself. Then all of a sudden, destruction hit. You see what I'm saying? Now, this thing that happened to her, being shot in the foot, was a reprieve. Because she could have been one of them people that got ran over, or that bullet could have landed somewhere else and took her out. But this was a reprieve for her life, and blessed her with another chance at life to repent and bow down and worship the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You see, yeah. Hopefully she does. She got a reprieve. This was a warning, in other words. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 14. And it reads, look, I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit. What does this right here mean? All of these things that we do, the way we live, means nothing to the Most High unless it's about him, unless we making time for him in our lives. The rest is vanity, and it's vexing to the spirit. It's upsetting to the spirit. You see what I'm saying? The New Year's Eve celebration, all of that kind of stuff, vanity, and very much a vexation to the spirit of those who are involved in that situation down there on Bourbon Street, New Orleans. You see, same with the family that house fire, came upon and took that man's life when he went back in there for the ring. Same thing. There's a lesson to be learned here, people. Let's go over here in 1 John chapter 2, verse 17. Here it is. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. What's the will of the Most High? Keep his commandments. That's what it is. Let's start here in 1 John chapter 2, verse 14. I have written unto you, fathers, because ye have known him that is from the beginning. I have written unto you, young men, because ye are strong, and the word of Yahweh abideth in you, and ye have overcome the wicked one. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. This just saying right here, if you love men's traditions and celebrating and keeping his traditions, like all these things, the love of the Father is not in you. Okay, verse 16. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. Meaning that's your God. The Most High ain't your God, the world is. And we know who is basically running this world. Prince of Darkness. Okay? Verse 17, and the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that does the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Little children, is the last time, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Okay? We'll stop it right there and go over to Psalms 95 verse 3. Look, for the Lord is a great God and a great King above all gods. Remember this. If anything that you want to worship and serve and celebrate, it's the Most High and the commandments that he told you to keep. There's nothing wrong with, celebrations if it has something to do with rejoicing in the Most High. But as for men's traditions, no, we don't want to do that. Not even when it comes down to our own birthdays. I'm seeing more and more and more on these holidays. So many lives are being taken, snuffed out behind this senseless violence. Why? Because the Most High, he basically, I believe, lowered the shield around, these people who put the world first. And when he lowers that shield around there, all kinds of demons, come in and lay on sore strokes, get into these people and do damage. Okay? That's just what it is, people. We got to keep the Most High first. That's just what it is. That's all I got on this lesson, people. I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth, and I hope you found the lesson edifying. All praises to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakadash. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.